I'm the general manager of Alpen Rose restaurant. I've been there for 5 years. Chef Helmut's been there for a year. The talent that he brings to us is just enormous. He's going to be doing a presentation today about stuffing vegetables. It seemed that many years ago that people would traditionally stuff vegetables, and we've gone away from that. We want to reintroduce that as a fresh approach, but with simple stuffings. Because there are so many stuffings that you could do, I've handed out some recipes. You'll notice that they're very simple to make. If you could read, you can make them. And because of the sake of time, we can't boil rice and we can't do certain things here, so we had to prepare them and just show you the technique of stuffing them and cooking them and taking questions. I also have and encourage you to visit our website because you can sign up for our email club, and every month you receive a newsletter of recipes, and some of the sauces that we're using here today will also be posted on next month's e-newsletter that you'll be receiving. So I encourage you to do that. I've got business cards that I can hand out, and we also have postcards that we have. Plus, you get a free meal for your birthday and a free meal for your anniversary. So we encourage you to do that. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Chef Helmut, and he can explain to you what we're going to do first.
All right, welcome. Good morning. Hope everybody's awake. Well, stuffing vegetable. I thought about it quite a bit, and said there's so many things you can do. You can stuff them with bread, you can stuff them with rice, you can stuff them with meat, fish, shrimp. I mean, so many options you have at home. And then you can choose on vegetables, especially now with zucchini, yellow squash, tomatoes. And we did a couple of those. And we make, just to show you a couple. You can do that with small tomatoes, large tomatoes. I just choose a medium size. And I stuff them with mozzarella cheese, prosciutto ham, and fresh basil. It's all fresh products. Easy to do at home. Stuff them ahead, put them in the refrigerator. When dinner is almost time to have dinner, you just throw them in the oven and bake them up. Or like I will deep fry them. Frank made a nice stuffing with risotto rice and beef. Put some apples in it and some celery and some onions and saute that all so that's all cooked, ready. And you get your vegetables ready. Like over here, I picked them up from the market and just prepare them. Like you see, just cut miniature zucchini in half and I grill them off first. Then I stuff them so you have a little grill flavor to it. And you can do that with any. You can do it with larger zucchini, small zucchini, peppers. Just to give you an idea, we just wrote a couple recipes down so it gives you an idea to start. Also blanched off some cabbage. I'm just going to stuff a couple of those. And I blanch those off and cool them down so they're easier to roll. And then you just roll it up, make like a stuffed cabbage roll. What you can do and then just pan fry it or you can bake it. And you can do different stuffings. Like I made also risotto but plain with green peppers and onions, and I put in some goat cheese to stuff it. And you just take those vegetables, most things are cooked, and you just stuff them full like this, and you can set them up and you can bake them. I don't have an oven here, so we're gonna pan fry some to heat it up so you can try it later. But that's about what we do. And again, you can do that in a tomato, the same thing. You can do different vegetables. I mean, there's so many options on the market that you can buy and stuff. Also with different meats, you can put pork in there, you can put bacon in there. You can put, instead of goat cheese, you put mozzarella in or Swiss cheese. Whatever flavor, whatever you need to use up at home even. If you have leftovers, slice it up, put it in.
I'll put it in.
You put it in?
Good.
And fall is coming, so we have some squash. And I baked them ahead so I can use them, so you can taste them. But you could to stuff them raw. Put the stuffing in. Like we have at the Alpen Rose a stuffed chicken with Michigan cherry stuffing, apples, bread, and you just fill them up, salt them, and bake them till the stuffing is done. Cut it open. You got dinner made pretty much. I blanched off some potatoes, especially with the fingerling potatoes that you have on the market. Just blanch them off. I put some blue cheese and I wrapped it in bacon. You can hollow it a little bit out, but why you waste a good potato? Really? It's like stuff.
That is an incredible item.
And then I just roll them in flour.
We can show them too.
Just like a regular flour. You can put a little salt in, pepper. And I made like a beer batter. Just flour, egg, salt, and beer. Just mix it up. And just dip that in.
And I gave you a recipe for tempura, which is similar to that, but you can modify and put some egg in there as well. But if you want a little bit lighter, then stick with that recipe that you have there.
And then I just deep fry it, or pan fry it.
Does anyone remember Arthur Treacher's fish and chips?
Yeah.
Remember that? Their recipe was 7-Up and flour. That was their batter. That was it. So if you still have a hankering for that, you could always deep fry some fish in that type of batter.
Yeah.
But it was all the same batter.
Really?
Yeah.
And I showed you earlier the tomato. Do the same thing. And you batter it, and you deep fry it. About, I would say 4 or 5 minutes. So the cheese gets warm, melt, and it's a great appetizer. Well, you can do at home. Not everybody has a deep fry at home, but those are available pretty cheap now at the store you can use.
Or you could do like me, I take a big pot and I stick oil in there, and
heat it
voila.
up. And then to make a couple sauces, with those things you can play with. We just roasted some peppers, just blend it up, also chef salt, so you have some contrast on a plate, like chefs do. Presentation is everything. And I used some olive oil and fresh basil, a little salt, blend it up, so you have oil for color. And also, my favorite is the dark balsamic vinegar. I make a reduction. I'm going to use a whole bottle, reduce it to a third, put a little honey in to sweeten it, so it's syrupy. You can put it on. It's nice, especially with tomatoes and basil.
And for the novices in the crowd, reduction means that you're slowly cooking it down to evaporate all the water. Anytime you evaporate anything and it's got salt or sugar in it, the salt and sugar does not evaporate, only water does. So be careful when you're adding salt to boiling products, because as the water goes down like soups and stocks, it's going to get saltier. There's no way that evaporates away. So you can do a reduction of any type of sauces that you want just by taking simple balsamic vinegar, like Chef said, and reducing it down and sweetening with a little bit of honey. Real simple. And look at the pretty colors that you get from that. We first eat with our eyes, right?
And you can put your deep fried things, tomatoes, and you serve it at home. It's not very hard to do.
We're going to pass these around, but don't eat them.
Don't eat them. You can
Just
smell
look
them.
at them. No eating.